Let's go ahead and get the units back. And that makes me wonder, actually, do we even need to have much of an army here with this guy, with Vlad? Because he can't quite solo everybody, but he can pretty closely do it. He's pretty close to being able to do that. So I'm just wondering, maybe we get rid of this army. Yeah, because I wasn't actually planning on doing that. I was just going to move them here so that we didn't have to fight with these guys. I just didn't want them in that battle. But if we were to move these guys all over, that means this army would now be a pretty strong force. It's a vampire lord, though. I really would like to have a necro in here, just because we need the regen. But we can transfer that over at some point. Now, this guy, can he reach? Yeah, looks like we can actually reach. And then we could wipe this guy out, and then wipe the camp out. So that would be that dealt with, and then Vlad would just scoot on up here. So I think that's the game plan. Now, we don't have a ton of winds of magic, so what I'd like to do is go channeling stance, and then we're going to come up here to attack. So we'll just do that. Yeah, let's try it. I don't know if this is a mistake. This might actually be a mistake, but it also might be just fine. So this is going to cause them to attack us. Like, these guys are for sure going to come and attack. And we can handle this, actually, with Vlad. This is a really good army for Vlad. Not so much a good army for this type of... yeah, those mortars would completely shred us. And we don't have a ton of anti-cav. We have one unit. So, yeah, the more I think about it, I think this is the right move. And we were saving up some points to do a bunch of these, but now that I look at it, there's not that many that we need in here. Like, this is pointless. Diplo relations with Empire is, I guess, kind of fine, but I don't know. We'll probably just end up killing him instead of vassalizing them. And then this mostly helps your army and not so much Vlad. Like, if he gets an extra 5 base damage, who cares? Weapon strength plus 10%, that is kind of nice, though. I would like that. So maybe just these two. So the XP for everybody, all armies, faction-wide, 150 per turn. And then this one improves this aura. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so it improves the aura that we have, but then it also decreases the cooldown on this, so we can debuff people's melee attack more frequently. So these two are a must-have. This one, not so much. This one's nice against flying units, but we're not going to be fighting against flying units anytime soon, so that's not a big deal. And then this one. So we really only need 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 points at level 12. So we can spend 2 points right now. So why don't we do that? Melee attack would be nice, although our melee attack is quite high. Maybe we just go armor. So let's go 2 points into armor. We'll save the rest. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we hit level 12. And then after that, we'll finish off some more stuff up here on his combat line. And then over here, pretty obvious, Pit of Shades reduces cooldown. And then the next level, we will reduce the Winds of Magic by 3. It's only going to be 12. That is a no-brainer. We'll use that over the Pendulum all day long. There are some situations where the Pendulum's better, like in tight quarters where you can bounce it off walls and stuff. But I think overall, this is a better option. So anyways, yeah, sorry, long-winded rant about what we're going to do here. Let's pull the items off, and then we'll put it back on at the end of the turn. Because we will most likely get attacked, which is kind of what we want anyways, but yeah. So that works. Next, let's go ahead and try to finish these guys off. I don't know if we can, but yeah, we can actually reach them. And it does pull both in. That's perfect. They don't have flying units, so this is pointless, but let's just get in there and fight it. So they are going to get reinforcements. I don't think we'll get to them in time, but we can maybe send these guys up to harass a little bit. I don't see this as being a particularly difficult fight. Not that concerned about it, but yeah, they are going to get reinforcements. That's not a big deal, though. So let's try and pick off these saber tusks. No, they need to be by themselves, though. Alright, the reinforcements are here, so there goes that. We got our knights. There we go. We can get these guys separated for just a second. I think that should be enough. Yeah, they were ready for it, and we gotta get out.
Blood's knights, swiftly.
Alright, so why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and set up right here. Right now they're separated. So let's blast these guys out. And then we'll start harassing.
Fear the night.
There we go. Dude, these things die so fast, man. It's insane how fast these things die. These bats. Can you please get out? Alright, they're crumbling. I don't want them to crumble. So let's get a heal on them. The Bargheists. There we go. So we don't want them to get caught. Let's get them up in the air if we can. I don't want my cab to get caught either. What is going on with this battle, man?
With haste.
Making some silly mistakes here, and we're paying the price for it. Bargeist got out. Looks like our cav are gonna tank through it, so they're gonna probably kill one. Yeah, he got stuck in there. Can't really do much about it. And heal everybody up. Alright, here they come. So what we want to do is get most of their units engaged. We'll start to hit them with our specialty units here, where we're the strongest. So let's get these guys back. Yeah, crash into that, no big deal. And then we'll come over here. Noblars, not really that big of a deal. Let's get these guys over here to gang up on the weakest units and get them to rout quickly if we can. And then we'll cast the debuff on their leadership here. Perfect, that looks good. All right, these guys are just getting crushed. What in the world? These guys do a lot of damage, so let's try to back up the line. Can't really use the fell bats, unfortunately. I could use them for morale. They can do some extra morale damage. Okay, these guys are dead. So now we need to get... Yeah, let's get our spears over there to help. You can engage. And then we'll just keep healing our... Oh, here we go. These guys are coming out. I don't know what they're doing. Cycle charging. And our zombies are getting crushed. Try and heal some of these guys up so they don't go down to 0. Although I think some of them will. Here we go. Ogre Bulls. These guys are getting low. Let's get in there and charge again. These guys, yeah, their lord's almost dead. So they should be getting a morale loss from that. All right, here we go. Now something the bats can actually do. So chase these guys. We need our spears to not chase, but to go attack stuff that's actually a threat. There we go. That guy's fully gone. Let's get our lord over there to help, and then we need to keep boosting up these zombies so they don't go to 0. Let's just flood the area with zombies. Wouldn't mind pulling these guys back a little bit as well. Oh, they came back. They came back. Okay. No, they didn't. Okay, what is going on? I am so confused right now. Let's try and kill off as many of these ogre bulls as we can. Don't think we can kill too much else here, unfortunately. Let's just get some heals. Boy. Yeah, everybody needs healing. And I think at this point... Yep, he's gonna get out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we didn't do... We botched this battle big time. Yep, nothing really went according to plan here, but that's alright. We survived it. We won the battle. Alright, not ideal. We did kill off a decent amount of their units, at least. But I have a feeling we're going to have to fight this again. We'll see. So we lost 281. I think we are in attrition territory too, which is not really good for us. We could take army replenishment here, and that might not be a bad idea. It's only 260 that we'd be giving up. Yeah, let's take the replenishment. Yep, and he still survived. But that did wipe out... Okay, so we wiped out his camp. Now he's taking attrition, and we actually are not in attrition territory. I'm not sure how that works. But either way, that's good for us. Now, what we want to do is figure out which direction we send this guy. We don't need to end in regular march stance. So, do we want to go north? Do we want to push west or go south and take out Krugenheim? So, this army is going to go take Vertbad. These two will probably take Niedling, and then afterwards they can take Krugenheim. So I'm thinking maybe we come up here to Kapellberg. So we'll take Beschaffen next turn, Kapellberg, and then we'll use Vlad to come up here and take something a little bit more difficult. Yeah, this guy's... he's going to have to just attack whatever's closest to him, so he'll just attrition out. I think he's pretty much dead. So that actually worked out really well. Let's head up this way. We could take a few more. Why don't we just take zombies? That's not going to really change our budget too much. Yeah, I think that's the right call. And then we'll go force march. We'll head up this way.
Agreed for now.
And then that is this guy's turn. Next, let's work on this Necrolord. We need to attack and take Nagenhof. So we don't have a particularly strong army here. We could make it a little bit better with something that's fast. We don't need another skeleton warrior here. What we need is something fast. So it's either going to be bats or dogs. I'd rather have the direwolves, I think. So we'll take them. And then these guys, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just declare war on them. So what do they have here? Can we raise dead? No, and I forgot to equip items to make that cheaper. Whoops. Put items on and then we'll get in there. Right, there we go. It says a decisive defeat. Interesting. My guess is this guy is giving them quite a bit of balance of power and strength. So he's ranged too. That's not good. Didn't realize that. Yeah, alright. Well, we'll have to figure something out here. Maybe we take more units then. We might need to. So we can take another skeleton and a couple fell bats. I actually wouldn't mind getting some fell bats and just sacrificing them. I don't want to pay their upkeep, but I don't mind paying 300 just for a turn. So what I'm hoping can happen is... look, I'm going to take another skeleton here just in case. What I'm hoping happens is we get everybody engaged except for that ranged unit. And then we can flank him with the dogs. And then when the dogs are done chewing them, we can focus down with our lord and the dogs on this guy. So we can just bum rush him and wipe him out. At least that's the hope, so we'll see what happens. The other option is we could try to bait them into attacking into a wooded area. That would be really beneficial for us. So let me see. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is bait them into attacking...
At once.
or at least baiting all their ammo out. We do have a shield on this guy. The only problem is he's extremely slow. So if he gets bum rushed, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Their lord's right here. Yeah, looks like they're pretty easy to dodge. Oh, and they just... he just hit his own units. That's awesome. Alright, they're sending a single unit out. It's not really what I wanted to have happen. I guess we don't really need the woods if they're going to do that. So why don't we... I'll have these guys come back out to help. And we could just harass. I mean, if they want to send this one unit out all the way away from their protection, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, they're still chasing. We got units coming up to reinforce, and he's way out. Alright, let's just do it. We got to do it. Hit him with our wolves. And then we'll have to heal this guy up for sure, because these things get killed so fast. Yeah, look at that. He's already done a 70. Crazy how much damage they take, man. But we've got quite a bit of winds and magic, so we should be alright. Right, there we go. Punch a hole through, and then let's get back to the safety of our blob here. Now, if they're going to run, we don't want them to get out, so we do need to engage them a little bit. That means we're going to lose more dogs. So there we go. Now everybody's jumping on them, and then they should flee, and then we could just leave them alone. We'll chase them down with the dogs. Heal the dogs back to full, and then we're in good shape. Now we do need to stay close by so we can keep getting this passive recharged. Anytime an entity dies in the area, it gets charged, and then we get free healing. So that looks pretty good. Oh boy. Gonna have to back up here in a second. There we go. All right, we got him. There's one unit down at least. So it's definitely doable. Let me do some work here. We'll come back if something different happens. Yeah, they're doing it again. They're sending a single unit out to contest while also wasting all their ammo. So pretty easy fight here, I think. All right, they are now attacking. Nope, never mind. They were attacking with another unit, and then they sent him back. So I don't know what they're doing. But whatever it is, it's not very smart. So let's try and run down as many as we can with the dogs so that they don't get back to their line. And then let's get our line back. We'll have to heal the dogs up for sure because they're going to take some damage here. But I think it's worth the risk. Yep, there we go. So they're not coming back. Actually, we didn't take any damage with the dogs. These things are... I know I kind of talked bad about them a little bit, but they're very useful if you don't have any cav. I will say that. Right, their archers are getting shots off. We can't do too much about it, so we're just going to deal with it. And then I'm going to move the dogs around and see if we can get access to those. They do, like I said, they still have that lord there, which is going to be kind of a problem. But I think we can probably kite them around and deal with it. He doesn't have that much ammo left either. So if we need to keep healing the dogs up, I think we can manage that. So let's just keep moving. Yep, there we go. We're going to hit him. I don't know how much damage this thing does, but I think it's a lot. There we go. We got him. Made contact with the crossbowman. And he just hit his own units for some reason. Oh, this game. The AI in this game is so funny. Alright, let's keep on top of the heals on these guys. Make sure that our skeletons are staying topped up. These guys are losing some units. Oh yeah, they lost a lot. Alright, so... this thing is doing quite a bit of damage. I want these guys to run. And then if we can get them routed, then we'll just run back and heal. Yeah, there we go. They're gone. Get them fully... do not engage the Lord, please. Jeez. Okay, so we'll finish. Yep, there they go. So they're fully routed. We'll come back here and heal. Heal on the dogs. And then they should be good to go. Now we just need to worry about this, which I'm not that concerned with. Oh, I think is he hitting us? Why are we taking so much damage on this guy? All right, let's pull him back in so he can regen on his own a little bit. He took a lot of damage. Right, the dogs aren't full, but I don't want to... I need to spend it on these guys to make sure that we're keeping topped up. And then anybody that gets low, will start to scare them off by just going near them with the dogs. The closer we get, the more morale damage they cause from being surrounded and flanked. Is he's shooting us. That's what he's doing. That's why we're taking so much damage. We're getting shot at by this idiot. He's got 2 more shots left, unfortunately. So we'll have to tank it for a little bit longer. Yeah, this looks very manageable. I'm pretty sure we got it. So, and the enemy lord's coming up. We'll have to deal with that soon, but I think we're good. Let me start editing some of this out. They're starting to crack here on this side. We've got some dogs here fighting off any units that kind of come out a little bit too far on their own. So they're sending some like 2 or 3 units at a time, and then these guys just start jumping on them. So that, yep, there they go. So they're starting to flee. We want to chase them so that they don't get out. Oh, and they're dead. Okay, so we got the win. Now our dogs don't do a ton of damage to this guy, but they are keeping him delayed, so that's giving us time to heal everybody up. I think we can get everybody to max, assuming he survives a little bit longer. But yeah, we're not going to really lose too much on this fight. We get our dogs topped off, skeletons mostly topped off. So we're in very good shape here. There we go. We got a heroic victory with 11 losses, and that's just because we didn't have time to heal everybody, but they'll heal up in the settlement over the turn, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, there we go. We'll take the settlement. And yeah, we did wipe this guy out, so he can't get out. Right, so that is what our northern border looks like. Not quite sure what to do next. If we want to take Fort Yakova, we have to spend a turn building siege equipment, which might not be a bad idea. How many settlements do these guys have? They have 2. Looks like the other one might be over here. I don't really want to go into the mountains too much. And then over here, we can't reach anything in one turn, so we're just going to move south. Oh, you know what? All these guys can get XP from this fight, because we're about to fight this. Why don't we do that? We'll get Winds of Magic, we'll get XP, all that stuff. Now this guy can also join the fight. We get right up to the border.
Follow me.
There we go. And then this guy should be able to reach. Yep, he can reach. And then you can see 4, so we're going to have 4 armies teaming up on this. Let me sort out some items here real quick, and then I'll fight this. Probably just do this offline. This is going to be an easy fight. So there we go. Easy win, no losses. We took no damage on our characters. Basically, just rush with the characters, and then clean up with the dogs. Yeah, you can see here, these guys all got about 100 each. The dogs with 350. But not too bad. See if we got any items for this, too. I think not going to really give us anything, so let's just occupy. We did get a Razor Standard on the Lamian Blood. Nice. Campaign line of sight, carrion. So we got 2 items from that battle. It's not bad for 4 people fighting. So now these 2 armies are going to be ready to go over here. So we'll keep them in friendly territory just so we can... Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? No, but anyways, we'll attack that next turn. Do we get any extra summons? We don't. And then the Lamian is going to force march over this way.
Neferata was right.
This guy will be stuck for a turn. It's fine, we can get some zombies going. We have nothing to recruit there. This army needs to go attack Vertbad. Yep, so 1, 2, we'll get 1 more before the end of the turn here.
Everything dies.
And then we'll have to take a look at our economy and see if we can afford to expand a little bit faster. Which I think we can, actually. I think we can open up another army somewhere. Or at least recruit more. Yeah, that sucks, man. The Winds of Magic is not good. But anyways, let's go attack Vertbad. We need to put some items on. So crushing defeat, that's a good sign. Now again, I don't foresee this really being an issue. What is the setup? Yeah, and it even has that part where there's no towers. So I'm going to edit this out as well. Okay, just to get a glimpse at how ridiculously strong this is. So I haven't really had to heal anything here. We've been going for, what, 7 minutes? I don't think we've taken a single loss in our front line. It is so ridiculously powerful having this little doom blob. It's pretty crazy. Even without this black coach, we would be just fine. But this just speeds it up a little bit. So there we go. Very straightforward battle. We lost 0 troops. We kept our healing cap up to the max. And this guy just had a field day. Our little black chariot, black coach. So pretty good work. Zombies didn't really do a whole lot, but I'm pretty happy to see these crypt ghouls with 57 kills. That's not bad. They're a little expensive, but I think they're probably worth it to mix in 1 or 2 in the crowd. We got about 1,800 to sack it, which is quite a lot. And then occupy Vertbad. Yeah, it didn't. I was gonna say it didn't really have anything that we wanted to keep, anyways. We'll get rid of this wine. We don't want that. We want the. You know what? Shoot, we are gonna have to repair this, aren't we? 900. We got 1,800 out of it, so we still net out plus 900, and then we'll get some money for that. So I think that's fair. But we still need Flensburg next turn, which we can hopscotch here. So we'll take this.
They will serve.
Yeah, and then I think maybe it's 1 or 2 turns to get over here. We'll start taking stuff in this area. I think that's it for this turn. I'm going to check diplomacy and hire a few lords, but I think we're pretty much done. Let me double check some stuff. Oh yeah, you know what? We do have enough blood kisses here to unlock another one. So we need 6 to get the next level of Lamian. That's going to give us Diplo relations, but I don't really want that right now necessarily. The one that I'm a bit more interested in is casualty replenishment rate plus 10% for all armies. That's a lot. So that one I think will come in handy. It does give us access to crossbowmen. I really don't care about that, to be honest. I don't think we'll use them. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe we will. The other options are not all that good, but the heroes or the lords that we can recruit are pretty good. So that might be something to consider. We could also get research rate, which would speed things up a bit on that front. That one is quite nice. But I still think the most useful one right now is going to be casualty replenishment. So we'll awaken there. And that means we get access to another lord, which we should probably do something about. And where, yeah, we need to figure out where we're going to do that. So we have our Lamian.
Sylvania's
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of firepower in this area, right? We've got Isabella. She's going to be the one to take on any walls since she has siege attacker. The Lamian should be able to handle most battles that are even tough. And then over here we've got a bunch of small stacks. We need to probably start getting some units in these.
What do you want?
2,200 negative. We could afford to hire some more troops. We just don't have the option. So once we go into these new territories, I think we'll get some more troops. And then up here, yeah, I feel like this guy needs help. Because if we start taking on stuff over here, Fort Yakova, Vitevo, whatever, any of these, we might run into some issues. So I'm thinking about bringing one in right here. So this is going to be... I think these guys are basically like the vampire lords with the shield and armor. So this would actually be pretty good to help out in this area. Let's go ahead and do that. So Friedrich von Carstein. Actually, it's Friedrich. So what special skills does he have? So really good with bats, with the dogs, Vargheists and bats. Okay, so we could get some fast-moving stuff in this army. And I'm sure there's some other stuff. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but yeah, this should help out quite a bit. He's got good armor, good melee attack, so we'll probably build him up to be a bit more of a tank. And then he should be able to help out this guy. This poor little necromancer that's terrible in combat. Also, we did hire this vampire. We need to figure out what army we're going to throw her in. So what does she even boost up? Or is she mostly just going to be damage? I think she's probably going to be mostly damage. Yeah, she doesn't really boost anything. She will give some replenishment, but that's not that big of a concern. So mostly damage, single target damage, and then we'll also get the Purple Son of Xerius. This thing does a massive amount of damage. It's kind of expensive, but when you get up to 3, it still costs 16. Wow. Yeah, so, but anyways, that thing will clear out some units. So where should we put that?
darkness comes.
I'm tempted to throw them in one of these units.
And wolves.
So the blobs, maybe not so much, because I feel like they don't need as much help clearing out units. It's going to be these tanky guys. So this Vampire Lord, the Strigoi, these guys are going to be pretty good at taking out single units, but not so much about taking out mobs. So I'm probably going to march her up here.
A pact will be placed.
Somewhere up in that area, and then we'll have her join. So I think that's it. Let me go check some diplomacy. If anything interesting happens, we'll come back, but I think that's it for turn 4. We should be able to handle this. The only scary thing here, I think, is going to be the cav. These guys, these archers aren't all that strong. The infantry we can clean up very quickly with a couple spells. The cav we should be able to handle as well, but yeah, they are a little bit scarier than everything else. And then this guy is barely level 1, so we should be able to wipe him out. Alright, here we go. So the goal, I guess, let's see if we can get their cav in the woods, because they're going to be pretty ineffective there. And we want to get into combat sooner than later so that we can use their artillery against them. Yeah, he's just going to bombard their own units. So that would be quite helpful. And then we want to keep our caster all the way in the back. I don't want to show until they're all clumped up. So here we go. Vlad, get in there. Let's try to avoid the infantry if we can. Just go after the cav. Are we going to do some jukes? There we go. I think we can get him here. And then we got to keep an eye on our caster, make sure that they're not looking for her. I think they're going to probably send search parties. And then after a little bit of time, they'll just give up and start going after Vlad, clumping on him. So the Cav are not going to fully commit. But we need to keep hitting them every time they turn and try to attack us. So here we go. We're getting plenty of winds of magic. We're probably going to be capped out here soon. Yeah, so let's get in there and do a spell or two. But the problem is they're just not really committing to it. Yeah, they're not blobbing up like I would want them to. So it's fine. He'll survive. Yeah, look at that. Only 2 units. That's not good. These guys, they're not really doing too much. I guess if we send this lady in, she should be able to tank it for a little while, and then they'll probably blob everybody, but I don't want to take that chance. Fine. We've got plenty of healing on Vlad. We also have that item, which increases the healing cap. So potion of healing. And then, yeah, see, it's just going to take forever. All right, let's go drop a nuke. That's going to reveal us on the map. So we need to get back into the wooded area. There we go. So that's going to hit them pretty hard. They actually did not go after us, so that's good. And yeah, that's going to completely eliminate those 2. We've got some cav here to deal with. Yo, let's debuff. And I don't know what they're doing, man. Yeah, we just need to get them to group up a little bit better. And then we can probably do some good damage, but there we go. Start nuking your own units. Perfect. And he just hit his own cav. So if we can get them to group up here, we'll drop another bomb on them. Yeah, the problem is the cav are not going to stay. That's one of the big problems. All right, so I'm gonna run this. You kind of get the idea. We just need to get them to group up. If anything crazy happens, we'll come back. But otherwise, it's just going to be grinding this out. All right, so they're getting pretty beat up here. We're dragging them into the wood line so that we don't take quite as much damage from these cav. And then, yeah, we're going to get a really good one right here. So this is going to suck in a lot of those. And then we should be able to wipe them out after maybe 1 or 2 more of these. And then we just got to clean up the cav. We've just about wiped out several of their ground troops, the non-mounted ones. So there's a bunch of spears down. It's basically just a couple range units, partial cav units. This guy got chewed up pretty bad. And then we got to deal with the enemy lord. But like I said, he's very low tier. I don't even think he has items on him, so it should be pretty easy. I think we're good. But they're pretty much dead. This guy's trying to flee, kind of. They just have a couple knights. We probably need to get our mounted guy ready to go chase him down if he tries to flee the field. And then we'll get another couple more. Yeah, this is pretty much done. So just a matter of, can we kill the lord before he gets out? I think we can. Let's get some extra firepower in there. Yep, there they go. All right, we got it. I'm going to chase down as many of these as we can. There we go. We got a heroic victory. Full health. We got over 1,000 kills on our vampire, but that's makes sense with all the AoE nukes we got. So we pretty much wiped them out except for their cav units and the mortar. Just about everything else is dead. Nice. So we'll get some good money for that. Yeah, almost 2 grand. And they moved all the way back. That's fine. Starting off turn 5, we're at 13 settlements, and we're about to take another one here with Vlad. Let's go attack.
Carstein.
That should wipe out both of these guys.
If you think it is.
Oh, and we still got our items equipped, so we should be good to go. So we just need to get to the gate without dying, preferably. Should be fine. We'll sit the caster outside. Oh boy. Yeah, they have a lot of ranged attacks this time, but we've got walls to protect us. So we just need to get the gate down. We'll get Vlad in there, get them bunched up, and then we'll start casting. Let's get our winds of magic going. The gates are down. Get in there before we get shot up. So we just need to stay in melee contact with someone, and then they shouldn't be able to get too many shots off. Still shooting, but there they go. Yeah, they're blasting their own people. So what we want to do,
It shall be done.
debuff debuff the enemy lord.
All shall perish.
Yeah, they're starting to pile in, so pretty straightforward here. Let's drop a nuke on top of that.
We are immortal.
The mortar, oh, it looks like the mortar left. I'm trying to see what the threats are here, but I think it's mostly just these knights that we didn't finish off last fight. But yeah, they pretty easy, pretty straightforward, so I'm gonna get to work on these guys. So Vlad hits incredibly hard. Well, only 481, but I think most of it's armor piercing. Yeah, this guy's going down pretty fast. So he's gonna start fleeing soon. We'll get hit by Cav and we won't be able to chase. There we go, so he's getting out. But we'll just keep casting. So they're gonna reinforce. We'll hit him with this. And then they'll be gone in a few minutes. About to kill the Lord. One more hit. Come on, don't block me, Cav. Don't block me. He's gonna block us. Oh, what happened here? How come my Lord is getting... Yep, okay.
Swiftly at once.
This game's cheating.
At once.
They're hitting us through the wall again. I hate when that happens. But we do have a heal here, so let's just get that on her and then get her out.
Swiftly at once. Swiftly.
As long as we're not in range, we should be fine.
Swiftly at once.
We just about got everybody wiped out. It's got a couple more units in the back there, but we're pretty much done. There's not much to cover here, so let's finish editing this. So there we go, another heroic victory down. No losses, we took no damage. And we should have plenty of movement speed, so we'll definitely stack. Got an item out of that. And we got our first level of plunder. And we got some regiments renown. Nice. We got Direwolf and Zombie.
King of darkness.
Question is, do we move past it? I don't think we can because this guy can't reach. Can he? Oh, he can't reach. Only in force march. All right, yeah. So we'll use up our movement here. That's not a big deal. What we should probably start to figure out is which settlements we need Vlad to hit. So, for example, Fort Yakova would be perfect for Vlad because it's walled and it also has a tough unit inside Katarina. We also need to take Talabheim here, though. Actually, that should probably be priority unless we have
Bring me flesh to craft.
Isabella here that can do it as well. Also, we finally hit our level that we were looking for. So, Cloud of Horror, that's going to give us campaign movement range and speed. So that should help a little bit. We want unit XP. We want to make the cooldown of our debuff fast. Make the cooldown slower, or so we can cast it faster. We also get more debuff for leadership and melee attack. That'll be good. This one we're not going to do, I don't think, or maybe not right now. And then this is good against flying units, but I don't know that we'll go against too many flying units. Let's go with Bloodlust. This one we could be using, especially when we go against other lords, so that'll give us a little bit more strength. So that looks pretty good.
I thirst.
And then over here, our final point into Pit of Shades, and then also, we don't really do Overcast, but I guess we could. So miscast chance, 35%, and then with this, that'll go down to 20%. So not that likely, and it does increased armor piercing damage. So it goes from 5 to 8, but it adds 7 points. Oh, the duration, no, it's the same. Yeah, 5 to 8. I don't know that upgrade's actually that good. So maybe let's just go Magical Reserve. We'll get Arcane Conduit last, and then we can start going down her combat line. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do with this army, or these two armies over here. If we try to take Fort Yakova, we have to build siege engines, so it's going to slow us down a bit. More importantly, it's not a particularly strong army, and I don't know where Katarina is. This place had a big battle, so 2,500 or 2,600 casualties. So more powerful units from Raised Dead. Yeah, we definitely want to get here and take it, and we'll be able to get some good units from there, but I don't know if right now is the right call. For sure, we have to go to war with these guys this turn. We're ready to take 2. Yeah, we can take 2 back to back. He's not at war with anybody, so I think we just declare. So this guy can go attack.
I refuse.
Alright, so pretty easy fight. I will put items on just in case. We need to make sure that we don't take any losses here so we can get these guys all back to full health. Alright, easy fight, no losses. It's not paying us too much, which means sacking's not going to be worth that much either, but... we could loot and occupy, that'll give us some replenishment, although we're going to get replenishment as well from end of turn. Yeah, just sacking it, just easier.
Darkness comes. My will alone.
I don't think we need to recruit anything else here. We have plenty of firepower. We probably have too much here, actually. So at some point, we might need to split this off into 2 armies. And then, yeah, Telebheim. Well, Telebheim we need to take with this lady, Isabella. Well, we also need to get to Altdorf pretty quickly because there is a nice... Well, there's a couple, actually. There's a couple buildings over here. So, Necromancers, hero capacity, recruit rank. Recruit rank for vampires as well. And then winds of magic. There's just a lot of really good things here. And then this other one, control, diplomatic relations, vampiric corruption. This one's not as good, but this is really important to get, I feel like. It also allows us to recruit the Terrorgeist. And then this one allows for the Blood Knight. So those are all high tier. You have to be level 5 and tier 5 on this anyway, so that's not going to be for quite a while. But we'll work our way over there. Next, let's figure out what we're going to do in the center here. So, northern part of Stirland. We've got 4 army groups that we can use to attack, but I think we need to get this guy moving. So, Flensburg we can attack. We can get him to participate as well, so we'll probably end up doing that. And then Kemperbad, Grunbad. Or, you know what we could do is we could just... No, I think that's what we need to do. I was going to say we could push Altdorf quickly. I don't know if it's really worth it, though. And then we need to attack these guys at some point, but we're still stuck in that treaty. Yeah, 6 turns. That's so ridiculous, man. I don't know why we start... There's got to be something in the lore for that, but I wish we could break that right away and just attack them. Because we could have made good use of this land and then started working on Wiesenland and Nuln. Right, down here in the south, we've moved our Lamian Blood Lady, whatever. She's going to go take Kemperbad next turn. I think she can reach. So we force marched over here, and that should be enough. We didn't have enough movement speed to help with Flensburg, unfortunately. That's what I was trying to map out, but these woods block all of the paths, so the fastest movement was to stay on the road. So we'll take Flensburg here, and actually it's probably better that we just wipe it out with Isabella anyways, because there's a pretty strong army in here. There's the leftovers of the units that we attacked that one time. So I think it was last turn. So we'll finish them off. Next turn we'll take Kemperbad, and we'll have most likely Isabella can help here. Actually, where is Altdorf? Yeah, see, Altdorf's on this side. I guess you can traverse the water here. But what we'll probably do is try to take Grunberg and then rush up here to Altdorf, although I don't know what they own right here, so we might need to take a few settlements here on the way to Altdorf. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I guess it doesn't really matter. We gotta attack this turn anyways, no matter what we do. So let me make sure we have items here, because... Oh wait, what? Did I just see the changeling in there? I did. Interesting. He's reinforcing. I have no clue where he is. So what we'll probably do, if we can, is we'll probably let him do most of the fighting. So he's reinforcing. We'll just stand back and let them bleed a lot of their troops. And then if we can, afterwards, I would love to wipe this guy out. So we'll try to do that. That is actually really, really, not to use a big word, but serendipitous. I don't know. I guess we're kind of lucky that he's there, because I don't know. I can't see him. I don't know where he is on the map. I don't know how we would know where he is. I've never played that character before, so I don't know how he works, but I do know he's kind of a pain in the butt to deal with, so... yeah, let me get some items here, and then we'll get in there and fight. Yeah, so that looks good. We're all set up. And like I said, we have enough to wipe this guy out without taking any losses or very few losses, but I think the best option here is just to let the AI lose as many troops as they can, and then hopefully we can take out the changeling. I'd love to sack the settlement and figure out where the changeling is, if we can follow up and wipe him out and then take the settlement, because I don't want to have to waste a turn. We could also get replenishment this turn, so if we take losses, it'll help. But anyways, let me figure out what the deal is here. So it looks like he's coming in 2 minutes, so we'll probably just sit in the back. Just chill back here and wait. So he's coming in about 20 seconds. We're set up in the back here in our giant blob. I'm going to move these two up so that we can actually see what's going on. Oh, look at that. He's already doing something. I don't know what that was. But I just want to make sure we can get vision so we can keep an eye on these guys. I don't want him to position for us. I want him to get full force on this guy. So hopefully, maybe let's just go. We'll go with him. And maybe they'll get them to face more. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. So he's probably just trying to face us. So we'll follow this guy in. Okay, here they go. Yeah, he's got a pretty strong army. It's definitely something we can win against. Maybe not with this setup, but if he takes a lot of damage, we could probably take advantage of it. It's just the biggest issue is all these ranged weapons, man. They do so much damage. So hopefully they're able to clear off some of those, or at least get them low. All right, here we go. Shots fired. Yep, shots fired on both sides. Yeah, look at that. It's so ridiculous how much damage these things do. And he's hitting his own units. That's cool. Unfortunately, I don't think this Empire guy is going to really stand much of a chance here. He's looks like he's going to get absolutely crushed. Yeah, his army's not even moving over here yet. So probably, oh yeah, self-harm. That's the best kind of harm here. So he just killed one of his units. Okay, well, I'm going to let them do this. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to win it. So we'll probably just come back when we're done taking the settlement. They are actually taking some heavy losses. They just lost their tier 4 flying unit. They lost another set of Harpies. Yeah, or Chaos Furies. Those are down now. So the Empire are actually fighting back pretty well. This is going to be nice. If he can take out that cockatrice, that would make me a very, very happy person. So tier 3. So it's a pretty strong unit. Yeah, it's fleeing. That's okay. Either way, if we can do a follow-up fight against these guys, we'll be able to clear out whatever they don't. Because yeah, he's very weak right now. Very weak. This worked out perfectly. All right, got the victory. We could probably get a few kills here just chasing people off the map. I wish we had an AoE spell that we could cast that would damage this guy. The only thing we have is a direct damage, and you can't target your ally, or not ally, but your non-enemy. So we'll just try to go for kills on the hero or the lord, and then we'll get out of here. And hopefully do a follow-up attack on this guy, because he is severely weakened right now. He lost some high-tier units. Not defeated. It's still a very strong army with all the ranged weapons that he's got, but much weaker than before. Yeah, and he still has this caster. This thing's going to do a lot of damage. Lower metal on our big blob. So we got to be careful of that. Oh wow! So he lost not quite half, but very close to half of his army. 800 out of about 2,000. So pretty weakened now compared to what he was before. This guy's wiped out completely, so we'll take that settlement. I am going to sack it though and see if we can attack this guy. Yeah, so he lost a bunch of these Chaos Furies, the Blue Horrors of Zinch, and then this Changebringer went down to 0. It looks like it's going to respawn, unfortunately, but I don't think it respawns back at full health. So let's go ahead and sack. We got Aldred's Casket of Sorcery. That's kind of cool. Not going to really help us too much this run, because generally we don't want the Winds of Magic to be at the lowest setting. Everybody needs Winds of Magic. You know what? Unfortunately, we don't get vision of the Changeling. How do we get vision of him then? Yeah, I'm not sure how to get vision of him, so we'll just occupy this. Maybe if we own the land, he'll pop up. Maybe next turn. I don't know. Hopefully he'll take some attrition here, because we've got Vampiric Corruption going up, so that should help. Alright, and lastly, we're going to take Krugenheim. Don't think it matters too much who's the one attacking. I guess we should probably figure out who needs the Winds of Magic the least. Probably the Strigoi. So we'll attack with him, sack and loot and all that stuff. We'll reinforce with these guys.
Bats and wolves gather.
Where are we going after that, though? That's what we need to plan out. So Talabheim would be a logical target. The problem is we don't have Siege Attacker here. So I guess it doesn't matter. We're just going to have to deal with it anyways. There's not a whole lot of settlements in here. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think there's a crossing right here. So we just have to take this and then go around. We could start funneling these guys over this way. Well, yeah, Talabheim and Hergig. No, I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, these armies can probably take this. These armies can start to work on this area, and then these guys will work in this area. I think that makes the most sense. So, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Just get them along the road.
Our father,
Some more troops.
they will serve. Darkness.
There we go. We got items set up. Uh, yeah, you know, this isn't going to be a particularly difficult fight, but I guess we'll probably show a few parts. So we want... they don't have flying units, so this is irrelevant. But we do want Razor Standard to be on one of these skeletons. These guys have a higher attack, so why don't we just throw it on them? So they'll have some decent attack damage now. Alright, sweet, let's get in there. We've got reinforcements ready, so 3 lords. Well, yeah, 3 lords. One of them's going to stay in the stack, though. And then the rest of these guys... Actually, is there a better way to do this? Maybe we can stay in the woods, just draw them back. I know they have some cavalry, so there is a possibility that they overwhelm and keep these guys stuck. They also have ogre bulls, so maybe it's not a good idea to fight in the woods. We probably need to bring these guys up as like a insurance policy. If we get overwhelmed, then we need to just move up our doom stack here. Let's try to at least bait out some of their, maybe some of their ranged ammunition. These guys are still working their way. Man, they are slow. Let's get over here. That'll break up their formation a little bit if they decide to go on us. Here we go. Yeah, so we should be able to bait with this guy. He's got the fastest movement speed, and he's got the shield out of the group. So we'll just use him for a little bit. Alright, here we go. Sending the ogre bulls, which is fine. We could technically fight them here if we want to use just our heroes and lords. Alright, yeah, let's go for it, and then we have the spell here we can use.
We are immortal.
There we go. Killed 2 right away. And then we gotta try and stop him from running. I don't think we can catch him, though. Okay, so we'll just do that. I guess we'll cycle back and forth, use some of their ammo. Here they come again, so... Alright, let's actually get these guys up closer, because that's not gonna work. They're gonna be right on us pretty soon here, I'm pretty sure. And then what we can do... Yep, here those guys come. We do have some spells here we can use. We got Spirit Leech. Let's use that on these guys. We also have Soul Blight, so if we want to debuff somebody, they don't do as much damage, we can do that. But I think we're fine. We've got plenty of heals. Yeah, here they come. So here comes the cav. We'll have to hold... no, we need to try and back out if we can get back to our blob here. We're definitely not going to make it, unfortunately, but let's just scoot back. And then by positioning between these 2 plateaus, that should provide us with a little bit of cover. Yeah, we're going to get arrows rained down on us, but we can't do much about it. Here they go. Yep, they're attacking. That's perfect. Let's get our Strigoi out. And then what I'd like to do is eventually loop these guys around once their fast units are tied up in our big blob. And we need to go flank those archers. So let's try and get these guys out. What do we have with this? Just the usual. Okay, so let's try and get out if we can. Strigoi, start working your way. These other 2 need to just wiggle till you get out. And then we need to do some heals. This guy has the stronger heal, the cheaper one, I think. Or did we not level him up yet? No, he's still the base. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, here we go. So we'll tie up at least some of these guys. Maybe we'll just use the Strigoi. We'll leave these guys here. Since they're the stronger ones. We used him. Our defensive buffs up. This guy should work his way towards the outskirts and try to get some melee damage in, because he's pretty... It's not great, but he's better than our zombies. Strigoi's got these guys tied down perfect, so we're not getting shot at. Ogre bulls are very low. Like I said, the biggest threats here are the archers and then these 2 big units. So we've mostly... These guys are on the outside. They can't really do much damage now. And the ogre bulls are more than half dead. So we should be good now. Let's get some more soul leech, spirit leech on these guys. We should be able to rip them out. So we've got our passive heal here working. So I don't think we need to give these guys a heal, but we might. Oh, also, yeah, we can get Forbidden Rod. We can get some more Winds of Magic. We probably don't need to, though, because we already have these 2 black parry up. So that's infinite mana right there, or Winds of Magic. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's start getting some heals off. Some of these are getting not really that low, but yeah, like this one, they've already lost 9 units. Let's get them back up. And then we should probably keep Spirit Leeching, but man, that's expensive. So yeah, maybe it's not worth it. Let's just save for heals. I think our units should be able to handle. There we go. One archer unit is gone. They'll probably come back, but that's a good start. Yeah, he has passive heal. These guys are getting the passive heal from the Necromancer Lord, so that's perfect. We're good. I think we just need to survive. Oh, you know what? This guy, that's what's hitting him so hard. All right, so let's try to target this enemy Lord with these two if we can. What else do we want to do? Yeah, we'll just keep healing the zombies and skeletons. I think that's fine. Anything that gets close to 150, we'll heal them back up. Go from there. There we go. These guys are coming back. These guys are about to flee, though. So I'm going to probably start to edit some of this out unless something more interesting happens. Yeah, I don't mind using the Spirit Leech, but it's got to be on this guy because he hits really hard. And we need to get some healing back on these two. I pulled them into the back of our line. I'll have them just do some damage back here. So that should keep them busy. We've got these guys on the run now, so they're not getting shots off, but now they're coming back, so we'll have to juggle between them two. But I think we're good. We're in very good shape here. Let's go ahead and we'll take some damage, heal it back up so we can get some Winds of Magic and do another Soul Spirit Leech on this guy. He's almost dead. Once he goes, the rest of their line should be falling shortly after. And then let's get some healing on anybody that's close to 150. And then we should be good. Alright, final Spirit Leech on this guy. That should be enough to knock him out. He should be gone now. He's definitely fleeing. Oh, it's going to be close. Yeah, we got him. Nice, with 1 second left. So, enemy lord's dead and dealt with. Now we just need to mop up the rest of his army. Right, they're starting to break. We've got 2 lord... Yeah, there they go. So we've got 2 heroes or lords on their archer units. So we already routed one. There's the second one gone. So pretty easy fight. We should have plenty of time to heal up here. So why don't we'll run down as many units as we can. We don't really have a good chase army, but we do have enough to get these guys back up to full health. So why don't we do that? We need 3 or 4 more heals and then we'll be good to go. So there we go. We did it with oh, we didn't do 0 losses, but anyways, 4 losses. We wiped most of them out. And there you go. Yeah, we're definitely going to sack this. And then whoever's got the least amount of movement points should be the one taking the settlement. So it's going to be this one right here, these 2. Yeah, that pretty much puts them at 0 anyways. Everybody else can start moving forward.